As spring unfolds its gentle renewal outside, a thoughtful interior refresh can bring that same sense of awakening and optimism into our homes. The enduring appeal of Laura Ashley's iconic British cottage aesthetic, with its romantic florals and timeless elegance, offers perfect inspiration for contemporary interiors seeking warmth and character. By blending these classic elements with rustic modern touches, today's homeowners can create spaces that feel both nostalgically comforting and refreshingly current, an approach that honors tradition while embracing the relaxed functionality that modern living demands.
Welcome to Rustic Elegance. Let's embark on a journey through the beauty of rustic decor, celebrating the warmth, simplicity, and natural charm of this timeless design.
Rustic Modern Country Style. Laura Ashley-inspired cottage charm for elegant spring house interiors. This harmonious design marriage works particularly well during spring, when our homes naturally transition from the cozy enclosure of winter to the lighter, brighter feeling of warmer months. The Laura Ashley-inspired cottage style, with its emphasis on natural materials, botanical patterns, and soft color palettes, inherently celebrates the seasonal renewal that spring represents. When these elements are balanced with rustic modern touches like weathered woods, clean lines, and contemporary conveniences, the result is an interior that feels both sophisticated and invitably welcoming. In this exploration of rustic modern country style, we'll discover how to thoughtfully incorporate Laura Ashley's cottage charm into today's homes. From gentle color schemes and graceful furniture to layered textiles and meaningful accessories, these approaches create spaces that feel personally curated rather than rigidly designed. The result is a living environment that offers both visual delight and everyday comfort, the perfect sanctuary for embracing spring's promise of new beginnings and quiet beauty. 1. Soft spring color palettes with a rustic touch. Pastels, neutrals, and muted florals. Romantic spring tones. How to blend Laura Ashley pastels with rustic neutrals. The foundation of a Laura Ashley-inspired spring interior begins with a thoughtfully curated color palette that balances feminine softness with earthy authenticity. Start with a base of warm whites and creamy neutrals on larger surfaces like walls and ceilings to create an airy, light-filled canvas. Introduce gentle pastels, powder blue, blush pink, sage green, and lavender as secondary colors through textiles, accessories, and smaller furniture pieces rather than overwhelming statements. Ground these delicate hues with rustic natural elements like raw wood, woven jute, and brushed metals that add necessary weight and prevent the space from feeling overly precious or saccharine. Elegant cottage colors. Mix cream, dusty blue, and blush for a calm modern interior. For a sophisticated take on cottage style that feels fresh rather than fussy, consider the timeless combination of cream, dusty blue, and blush pink, a palette that captures Laura Ashley's romantic essence while maintaining modern appeal. Apply cream as your primary neutral on walls and major upholstered pieces, introducing dusty blue through curtains, cushions, or a statement chair. Blush accents in artwork, ceramics, or floral arrangements add warmth without overwhelming the serene atmosphere. This color trio works beautifully with natural wood finishes in either warm honey tones or weathered grays, creating spaces that feel both elegant and approachable for contemporary country living. Spring wall paint and decor ideas. Budget-friendly pastel shades for a rustic modern look. Transform your home for spring without significant investment by selectively updating wall colors in key areas. Consider pale sage green in dining rooms for its appetite-enhancing and nature-connecting properties, or soft dusty rose in bedrooms for its soothing, flattering glow. For a modern twist on traditional Laura Ashley floral patterns, try a single feature wall with delicate botanical wallpaper while keeping remaining walls in complementary solid colors. Budget-conscious decorators might focus on painting smaller spaces like entryways or powder rooms, where even subtle color changes create significant impact without requiring gallons of paint or professional installation. Two, Laura Ashley-inspired furniture styling, vintage silhouettes and modern comfort. Classic meets cozy. Cottage-style sofas and armchairs with a rustic twist. The essence of Laura Ashley-inspired seating lies in its graceful silhouettes combined with inviting comfort, a balance perfectly suited to today's rustic modern interiors. Look for sofas with gently rolled arms, subtle curves, and higher backs that echo traditional English country forms while maintaining clean overall lines. Rather than the fitted floral slipcovers of original Laura Ashley designs, consider updated upholstery in solid linens, matte velvets, or subtle herringbone patterns that reference tradition while feeling current. Complete the seating arrangement with deeply comfortable armchairs featuring natural wood legs or frames that introduce rustic texture while maintaining elegant proportions. Elegant furniture pairing, blending vintage details with modern rustic finishes. Create dynamic tension in your spring interior by thoughtfully combining furniture pieces with different historical references and material qualities. A vintage-inspired secretary desk with delicate proportions gains contemporary relevance when paired with a modern chair in natural wrought tan. Similarly, a clean-lined modern sofa feels more characterful alongside an antique side table with patina and history. The key to successful mixing lies in maintaining consistent scale among different pieces while allowing contrasts in texture and finish, perhaps a weathered oak coffee table with visible grain against the softness of upholstered seating, or brass accent tables bringing subtle gleam to an otherwise matte composition. How to refresh your living room with Laura Ashley-inspired seating and storage ideas. Transform your living space for spring by rethinking furniture arrangements to emphasize conversation, natural light, and garden views so central to Laura Ashley's cottage vision. Consider repositioning seating perpendicular to windows rather than backing sofas against walls, creating intimate conversation zones that feel both open and defined. Introduce storage pieces that combine beauty with function, glass-fronted cabinets displaying collected ceramics, window seats with hidden compartments, or rustic wooden trunks serving as coffee tables while concealing seasonal items. When purchasing new pieces, invest in quality upholstered seating with natural filling materials and hardwood frames that will develop character over time, embodying the sustainable ethos that underpins authentic country style. Three, spring textile layers, floral curtains, soft linens, and rustic patterns. Textile harmony, styling Laura Ashley florals with rustic gingham and natural linen. The distinctive charm of Laura Ashley-inspired interiors emerges through thoughtful textile combinations that balance feminine florals with more structured patterns and natural textures. Begin with a statement floral pattern, perhaps featuring bluebells, roses, or wildflowers, for major elements like curtains or a single upholstered piece. Complement these botanical designs with geometric counterpoints such as classic gingham, subtle stripes, or small-scale checks that provide visual rhythm without competing for attention. Introduce plain natural linen or cotton in complementary solid colors for larger upholstered pieces, allowing the patterns to serve as accents rather than overwhelming the composition. This measured approach creates rooms that reference Laura Ashley's romantic aesthetic, while feeling fresh and livable for today's rustic modern homes. Elegant window dressing, vintage-inspired curtains that brighten any spring room. Windows serve as natural focal points in cottage-style interiors, deserving textile treatments that enhance rather than obscure their architectural features and garden connections. For a Laura Ashley-inspired approach that feels current, consider full-length curtains in lightweight fabrics that pull slightly at the floor, creating soft verticality without heaviness. Mount rods closer to the ceiling rather than directly above window frames to enhance ceiling height and allow maximum light when curtains are open. For pattern selection, choose medium-scale florals or botanical prints that read almost as a texture from a distance, while revealing delightful details upon closer inspection. Pair with simple roller blinds or Roman shades in coordinating solid colors for practical light control without visual complexity. Pillows, throws, and rugs, affordable layering ideas for a cottagecore modern home. Transform your spring interior with textile accents that add color, pattern, and comfort while requiring minimal investment. Cushion covers and complementary floral designs can be seasonally rotated, while lightweight cotton throws and soft pastels provide both practical warmth and decorative color for transitional spring evenings. Consider natural fiber rugs like seagrass or jute as neutral foundations, layered with smaller cotton or wool rugs featuring subtle patterns in areas where additional softness and color are desired. For authentic cottage charm without overwhelming pattern, follow the traditional decorator's rule of varying scale. Perhaps larger florals on cushions, medium checks on throws, and smaller, more subtle patterns on rugs, all unified by a consistent color story that ties each element to your overall palette. Four, rustic modern dining spaces, cottage tables, spring centerpieces, and elegant dishware. Spring dining setup, rustic wooden tables with soft floral tablescapes. The dining table serves as both functional gathering place and decorative opportunity in Laura Ashley-inspired interiors, particularly during spring when seasonal elements can be incorporated into everyday settings. Choose solid wood tables with simple, honest construction, perhaps a farmhouse style with turned legs or a more modern interpretation with clean lines but visible grain and character. For special occasions or daily enjoyment, layer these substantial pieces with softer elements. Linen table runners in pale spring hues, simple ceramic vases filled with garden cuttings, and natural candle holders introducing gentle ambient light. This juxtaposition of rustic structure with delicate decoration perfectly captures the essence of updated cottage style. Laura Ashley Dishware and Cottage Decor. How to style an elegant country table. Create dining experiences that honor the English country tradition of gracious hospitality with thoughtfully selected tableware that's both beautiful and practical. Rather than matched sets, consider a curated collection approach, mixing floral pattern dishes with solid color companions in complementary hues. Incorporate traditional elements like pressed glass, simple silver or silver plate, flatware, and linen napkins with minimal embellishment beyond perhaps a single monogram or simple hemstitch detail. For everyday charm, display these elements on open shelving or in glass-fronted cabinets, allowing their patterns and colors to contribute to the room's decoration even when not in use. A practice that honors the Laura Ashley philosophy of finding beauty in functional objects. Budget centerpiece ideas. Use wildflowers, candles, and pastel linens for spring charm. Transform your dining space for spring without significant expense through centerpiece elements that celebrate the season's natural abundance. Gather simple glass bottles or clear canning jars to create collections of single-stem displays featuring whatever grows in your garden or neighborhood, from flowering branches and daffodils to humble dandelions and grasses. Group in odd numbers with varying heights for visual interest, and place atop natural linen runners or simple wooden chargers for rustic context. Incorporate unscented dinner candles in complementary colors for evening ambience, and consider small potted herbs both as decoration and practical addition to meals. These ephemeral arrangements can be changed weekly or even daily, bringing nature's constant renewal directly to your table. Five, elegant cottage accessories. Vintage mirrors, ceramic accents, and natural decor finds. Rustic modern accessories. Cottagecore-inspired touches that elevate your spring decor. The finishing layers in Laura Ashley-inspired interiors come through thoughtfully selected accessories that add personality while maintaining a cohesive aesthetic. Look for pieces that combine natural materials with refined details. Handmade pottery in simple forms and soft glazes, botanical prints framed in weathered wood, and handcrafted textiles like embroidered cushions or simple quilts draped over chair backs. These elements should appear collected rather than purchased as sets, with each item having visual or emotional significance rather than serving merely as decoration. The modern interpretation of cottage style embraces imperfection, choosing the handmade ceramic bowl with subtle variations over mass-produced perfection, or the slightly faded vintage textile that tells a story of use and appreciation. Mixing old and new. Where to find elegant vintage mirrors and Laura Ashley-inspired accents. Create authentic character in your spring interior by incorporating genuine vintage pieces alongside contemporary items that reference traditional forms. Search estate sales, thrift stores, and online marketplaces for gilded or wooden mirrors with gentle patina, vintage china with botanical motifs, and antique textile fragments that can be framed as art. Balance these finds with new pieces that nod to tradition while meeting modern needs. Perhaps ceramic table lamps with contemporary profiles but soft, reactive glazes, or newly made quilts featuring updated interpretations of traditional patterns. Local craft markets, small batch pottery studios, and independent textile artists offer excellent sources for these items, allowing you to support creative entrepreneurs while acquiring pieces with authentic handcrafted quality. Soft light, soft decor. How natural textures and pastel accessories add a cottage feel. The distinctive atmospheric quality of Laura Ashley-inspired spaces emerges through thoughtful attention to lighting and texture. Create layers of gentle illumination with table lamps featuring fabric shades and complementary colors to your palette, placing these at varying heights throughout rooms to create pools of welcoming light, rather than harsh overhead illumination. Incorporate reflective surfaces like vintage mirrors or glass candlesticks that multiply light without glare or flashiness. Complete rooms with natural textural elements, woven baskets holding extra blankets, wooden bowls filled with pine cones or collected stones, and handmade ceramic vessels displaying simple floral arrangements. These finishing touches should engage multiple senses, with attention to tactile qualities that invite touch and create comfort beyond visual appeal. Conclusion. The enduring appeal of Laura Ashley-inspired cottage style lies in its celebration of everyday beauty and connection to natural rhythms, qualities particularly resonant during spring's season of renewal. By thoughtfully blending these traditional elements with rustic modern sensibilities, today's homes can achieve interiors that feel both timeless and relevant, creating environments that nurture well-being through their authenticity and thoughtful composition. The most successful interpretations of this style avoid literal reproduction, instead capturing the essence that made Laura Ashley's vision so beloved: the appreciation of natural materials, the balance of practicality with beauty, and the creation of spaces that feel personally meaningful rather than trend-driven. This approach aligns perfectly with contemporary values of sustainability and mindful consumption, encouraging investment in quality pieces that will age gracefully and selections made for genuine connection rather than temporary appeal. As you incorporate these ideas into your own home this spring, remember that the true heart of cottage style, whether in Laura Ashley's original vision or today's rustic modern interpretation, lies not in perfect adherence to rules, but in creating spaces that truly reflect those who live within them. The most beautiful rooms tell stories of their inhabitants' lives, values, and experiences while providing comfort and functionality for daily living. Through this thoughtful, personal approach to design, your spring refresh becomes not just a decorative exercise, but a meaningful expression of home at its most nurturing and authentic.